guys, so today I wanted to talk to you about some hints and tips that I personally use to try and help me find my local artist community. So there've been a couple of times that I've met new illustrators who've recently graduated and they've possibly come to some networking events and they've sort of wondered, I don't actually know how to find people in my area. And so I always tell them this that I'm about to tell you guys, so I thought I'd do a video, spread the message en masse. Yes, as I said, this is what I always tell people to try if they ever talk to me about not being able to find other artists in the area. And this is definitely a method that works because it's the one I used and one that I found online, so passing the knowledge on to you guys. I was going to suggest exactly what I did, which was I used this app that basically let you type in keywords and locations for Twitter, and then it, spew out all the users that fill those criteria. Can't remember the name of the app and I couldn't find it through searching for it again, but the good news is Twitter actually has all the things you need to do this now. So for anyone who's new to Twitter or maybe has been on Twitter for a while but didn't know that this was an option of something you could do, here's the method for finding people near you. What you want to do is you go into the search bar and find the advanced search link. I think you can only get to it once you've already searched for something, so just type in some random word and you'll get taken to the search page. From here you can click to find people in your local area and then type in a keyword like illustrator. Obviously you want to broaden your search, maybe do a couple where you include just the term artist, designer, illustrator, because a lot of people use different terms to describe themselves. And then you want to click on the accounts tab, which will bring up all the users that fill the criteria that you've searched for. So from here what you want to do is spend time looking through everyone. Using this method is also a good way to up your Twitter followers. You're much more likely to be followed by people if you're following them. So a good way to connect with people and to get your numbers up is just follow anyone that feels relevant, anyone whose stuff you're interested in. I mean, really, even if you're not interested in a person's specific style, follow them because they're an artist, they're part of your community, and it's more about having a community and a networking system than your preference to how their artwork looks. And who knows, that person whose work you're not fond of could be the source of your next job. Now, I'm not saying you should spam people, that's a bad idea, that annoys people. But I remember reading a tip years ago, say if you have someone that you particularly want to follow you, there's an artist you admire, you really would like to get to know them better, and obviously it doesn't matter whether they're following you or not, you can get to know them anyway, but if that's what you want to do, a good way to do it is to follow people and then say wait a few weeks, unfollow them and follow them again. That way they might notice you and think to check out your work. But like I say, don't spam it, don't be ridiculous. I've had people do this to me, and if anything, when I notice them, I kind of, I know what they're doing because I've read the same tip to do that. Maybe a better way other than spamming people is to message them and say, hey, I really admire your work and I'd love it if you followed me, please do. It's also about finding people who understand your job and understand where you're coming from, the sort of struggles you might go through. Because at times when you might feel low and like no one's there, some of these people can be the people that will get in touch with you and ask if you're alright, and who will understand the most where you're coming from. Be willing to go to meetups as well. People are more likely to like you and understand your personality and to get to know you if you meet them face to face. Although I will warn you ahead of time, if you go to a networking event, expect to spend a long time not being able to remember anyone's names. Or you might even have a few times like I have, where you spend time talking to someone who you've just met for the first time. After about an hour or so, you might share your artwork with each other and you find out, hey, I know this person already. I talked to them on Twitter, or I know their work very well. Oh my gosh. And to end this video, if anyone is ever in the Manchester area, or if you already live in the Manchester area, a meetup I will recommend for you people is Draw Northwest. That's a meetup I go to. It's an illustration-based one. I say illustration-based, it's an art meetup. There's designers, animators, illustrators, people of all different backgrounds, traditional, digital, just a whole big wide group of people. For the details, I'll put them down in the description, but it is held every last Tuesday of the month in Cosmonauts, which is a bar on Tariff Street in Manchester. We're all a very friendly bunch, so like I say, if you're ever in the area, pop down. Or heck, if you fancy going and you're in the area but you don't know anyone, hit me up. I pretty much try to go to all of them if I can, and I understand what it's like going to a meetup for the first time. It can be a bit daunting, especially if you are an anxious person, and so I'd be more than happy to help you along and introduce you to people. That's my main tip for helping you find people in your local area. All these tips apply to every industry, so even if you're not an illustrator but you want to find people with similar interests in your area and that sort of thing, use the tool for that as well. Happy hunting, and I'll see you next week.